And I am live, waiting for people to notice. Well, anyway, while I'm waiting for people to notice, I'll talk about stuff. So, do you know what it's like to be in so much pain that you have to be in bed? I really don't like having to be in bed all the time because of pain. Pain sucks. I have a TV in my room, and I have an adjustable bed, which means that I can lay here and watch TV. Cool. But usually, I'm in so much pain that I can't concentrate on much of anything. I just lay down and close my eyes and just deal with it. Just deal with the pain until the pain ebbs to a point that I can deal with it and watch TV and not be too bothered by it. Still nobody. Anyway, so I guess this live video is going to have no questions from people, no discussions. Oh well. So I like calling myself Plarn Dude because I am very obsessed these days with Plarn making mats for the homeless out of Plarn. And there's a lot of other things that I am kind of obsessed about, like math. I'm not a really great mathematician. I only got um, arithmetic and um, what's it called? Remedial algebra in my repertoire. Um, I know a few interesting things in math, but calculus, trigonometry, etc., I don't understand any of that stuff. I don't have a bunch of that stuff memorized. I don't know. But what I do know is that the order of operations always applies. It's over 500 years old, and so many people do not understand it, or they were taught wrong, or they forgot what they learned in school. And so they get wrong answers all the time to simple arithmetic, math. It's awful to me. And I'm so obsessed with teaching people how to do math correctly. It's basically 4 steps. 4 steps. 1, anything inside grouping symbols gets done first. 2, the exponents and roots get done. 3, the multiplication and fractions get done. 4, the summation gets done. Okay? That 4th step is the very last thing you do. You sum up everything, all the terms that you've worked out, and then you're done. And a lot of people are getting tripped up because they think that juxtaposition multiplication, which is a number that is attached to the outside of uh, grouping symbols, gets done before division. And it does not. Division is fractions. All division is fractions. So when you have 1/2, that is 1/2. That is 1/2. That is a fraction. If you have 1/2 parentheses, 1 plus 2 parentheses, that is not 2 times 2 equals 4 and then 1 over 4 is 1/4. No, it's 1/2 times 2. 1/2 times 2. And what happens when you have two halves? That's a whole. That's a single whole thing. 2 half pizzas is a pizza. People just don't get it. And it drives me crazy. But I'm in so much pain that I can't spend a whole lot of time at the computer. So I spend a lot of time on Facebook while I'm in bed using my tablet or my phone. I really hate being too disabled to work. It really affects my self-worth and causes a lot of depression and suicidal thoughts. And I am in a lot of trouble. Uh, the government all of a sudden thinks that I am able-bodied, which is ridiculous. And because the federal government made that decision and kicked me off of disability and SSI and Medicare, I'm unable to pay dad rent. I'm unable to pay for food because the state government, Arizona's DES, decided to kick me off of food stamps because I'm able-bodied and haven't worked, according to them. And I'm pretty sure they're going to try to kick me off of Access soon because I'm able-bodied and unable to work, according to them. If I get kicked off of Access, I will no longer have any medical care, which means that my steadily worsening condition will quickly go downhill and I will die. And guess who I blame for all this? I blame the Republicans. The Republican Party, not necessarily individual voters who vote Republican. Most Republicans are decent people. Most Democrats are decent people. The parties, the national parties, are a problem. They are part of the oligarchy. They are screwing everybody. And yet everybody is brainwashed into thinking that there cannot be a viable third party, therefore we must not vote for a third party candidate. And we must vote for the lesser of the two evils. And I'm like, no, a vote for the lesser of two evils is still a vote for evil. Stop voting for evil. Stop it. Stop voting for evil. How many times do I have to say it? Please, please, I'm begging you. Stop voting for evil people. Stop it. So, if you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat, you're probably a good person, a decent person. You probably want basically the same things as the people that you think are evil demons. That's the main problem. The two parties brainwash you people into demonizing each other. No, most Democrats are not evil people who want to take away all of your money and take away all of your property and take away your family and ruin your lives and make your lives hell. No! Most Republicans are not evil, horrible people who want to take away all your rights and take away your children and make your lives hell. No! Most people are decent. Most people want basically the same things. The problem is that the two-party system has brainwashed so many of you into constantly giving them all the power. This is supposed to be a government of the people, by the people. It's not supposed to be a government by an oligarchy. We need to band together. We need to figure out all the things that we agree with each other on and stop fighting each other over the few things that we disagree about and work together to make this country, the United States of America, a better country for everyone. A country that works for everyone. A country with an economy that helps everyone to achieve their dreams. Not just barely survive, but to do better than that. This is supposedly the wealthiest country in the world. Why is there a single person suffering in desperate poverty, starving, and on the street in the cold? Why? That should not be happening. It is a national tragedy that anybody suffers in this country for lack of money. That should not happen. That should not happen. Not in the richest country in the world, period. Not anywhere. The entire world can be run differently so that every single person is able to achieve their life goals and succeed and live their dreams. Every single person can have freedom and have all of their needs met, all of their basic needs met. There should not be desperate poverty on this planet. Period. Humans invented poverty. Do you think poverty is just a natural thing? No, it's not. Before humans invented economies and governments, there was no such thing as desperate poverty. If you lived in, say, a Native American tribe like the Navajo or something, like 1,000 years ago, the tribe would take care of you. The tribe would not let you shiver in the cold and starve and die just because you're old or just because you're injured or just because you're sick. They wouldn't be like, oh, you're too weak to do stuff. Screw you. No. Before humans invented capitalism and money and big central governments and cities, etc., before humans invented all that crap, people did not suffer in horrible, agonizing poverty. Humans invented poverty, so humans can get rid of it. Humans can make it go away. Humans can solve the problem humans invented in the first place. Don't tell me there aren't enough resources for every single person. This is a planet abounding in abundance. There is so much abundance. There is more than enough area of land to live on. There is more than enough drinkable water for people to survive on and thrive on. There is more than enough food available. There are plenty of resources on this planet to be able to handle the entire human population alive today. We don't need famine and wars and massive uh, disparities in wealth and so on and so forth. We don't need people dropping dead left and right from disease. easily cured or prevent all of this suffering. We don't deserve it. We should stop doing it to each other because that's really going on. It's not natural. It's not normal. Humanity is doing this to each other. So stop. When you see somebody suffering and you do nothing to help, you are guilty of causing suffering. When you could have helped, when you could have done something and you did nothing, you are guilty. You are just as guilty as somebody who walks up to that person and slaps them in the head or kicks them down or stabs them in the back. You are just as guilty as somebody who actively goes and hurts them because you decided not to do anything to improve the situation. Nothing. You are guilty when you know that you could have done something and you did nothing. All of humanity shares guilt and blame for poverty and suffering and death as a direct result of the things humanity created, the situations that humanity has invented and foisted upon each other. I am trying my best, even though I am extremely disabled by extreme pain. I am making plastic mats to help people. I am putting myself through pain to make those mats as fast as I can, to make as many of them as I can as possible. And I am giving them away for free because, in my opinion, it is wrong to sell those mats to people who are in desperate need. And if I were to set the price for a mat based on all the work that it takes to make one, each mat would be worth about $620. Who in their right minds would buy a mat for how much it is actually worth? Hmm? Nobody. Nobody would buy a mat. If I were to sell mats to survive on, nobody would buy them. If I were selling my mats for a living so I can pay rent, pay my bills, pay my debts, buy my food, and so on and so forth, nobody would buy them because they are made out of plarn. They're made out of plastic bags. Nobody buys that kind of thing. If you want to buy a mat, you're going to buy like a yoga mat at the store for like $10. So no, of course not. Of course I'm not going to sell my mats. I'm going to give them away. And if anybody gets one of my free mats and turns around and sells it, uh, you know, I guess they're able to do that when nobody is aware of the free mats, when nobody is aware that those mats are being given away for free. Because if they are aware, then they're not going to buy it. Like, why would I buy a mat when I can get one for free? Right? If you can get something for free, why would you buy it? The only good thing about capitalism, in my humble opinion, or maybe not my humble opinion, maybe it's a very not humble opinion, is the freedom of association, the freedom to decide who to interact with, and the freedom to decide how much to sell something for, how much to buy something for. No government deciding this is the set price for this thing, and you're not allowed to sell it for more, or you're not allowed to sell it for less, or whatever. And you're not allowed to sell to this person, you're not allowed to buy from that person. You can't have a controlled economy and call it capitalism. But You don't have to have a controlled economy. You don't have to have capitalism or a centralized controlled economy. It's not just those two possibilities. You can improve the economic situation without trying to control everybody. We as a nation can make sure that every single person has a job if they want it. If you want a job, you can just go and get a job. If you are physically able, you can just go and get a job. We as a nation can guarantee that a job is waiting for you if you just want to go and get it, so that you don't have to starve. We can make sure that every single person is able to work and make a living and feel proud of what they're doing and have a sense of self-worth, uh, and not be depressed because they're unable to work because there's no jobs available. You can't tell me that there's not enough work in this country. There's plenty of work to do in this country. There's infrastructure that needs to be updated and replaced and fixed. And there's all sorts of things that need to get done in this country. There's more than enough work so that every single able-bodied person can work. The problem is not a lack of work. The problem is not a lack of resources. The problem is a lack of political will to help everybody get up and out there and doing stuff and earning a living and being proud of what they're doing and feeling good about what they're doing. We can fix this country. And after this country is fixed and everybody is working and everybody is happy and there's no poverty in this country, then we can work on helping other countries do the same thing. We can help Mexico so that Mexicans don't basically get forced by their economic situation to illegally enter our country in order to survive. These are not immigrants. These are refugees. These are economic refugees. These are people who are seeking refuge from their suffering. One of the things that I've been dealing with, and this is the TMI warning stuff, is I will often be unable to get to the bathroom in time. Like right now, I really need to pee. But first, I need to adjust my bed so that I can get off my bed. And then I need to see if I can get up and get to the bathroom in time before oh, oh, before my bladder releases all over my pants, which sucks. I really don't like peeing myself. Oh, that hurts a lot. So I'm gonna get up now and go to the bathroom with my cane. So I hope that I get there in time. Alrighty, I'm done. Have a nice night.